Coming to you from Annapolis, Maryland, home of the U.S. Naval Academy, the sailing capital of the world, home of the world's largest crab feast, and 4 signers of the Declaration of Independence. This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, a daily roundup of local news that you can use, including local sports, local events, local opinion, and local weather from DMV Weather. Now here's your host, publisher of Eye on Annapolis, John Frenaye.
And the countdown begins. It is 10 more shopping days until Christmas. Hello, this is John Frenaye. This is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, and today is Friday, December 15th. Annapolis City fire investigators have been unable to determine a cause of the fire on November 24th at the Severn House condominiums. They have declared the cause of the fire to be, quote, undetermined at this time. According to spokesman Kenny White, when fire investigators indicate the origin and cause of a fire to be undetermined, it does not necessarily mean a conclusion to the investigation. In this particular case, this is still an active investigation. The Thanksgiving fire started in the second-floor bedroom of Unit 770C and spread rapidly to 22 adjoining units. 1 firefighter and 1 civilian were injured and transported to a local medical center with minor injuries, and it caused an estimated $1.5 million in damage. The hits keep coming for the Housing Authority for the City of Annapolis, and the latest setback for the organization, and this one is actually not of their own doing, they have ended their contract with a local apartment complex, Annapolis Roads Apartments, which I didn't realize was a Section 8 housing where they could take vouchers. Apparently, Annapolis Roads Apartments has not been paying their income tax, and the IRS put the Housing Authority on notice, and their acting CFO said, "We can't use federal funds to pay somebody who is in violation of another federal law," which does make sense. However, that does not bode well for the residents that are living in Annapolis Roads Apartment and being subsidized by federal money through HACA. Just before the holidays, several residents are now forced to find new homes in a market where subsidized housing is very rare. Yesterday, the FCC repealed Obama-era rules for net neutrality. The Obama regulations prevented internet providers from being able to throttle service for some apps, websites, and providers. Most of the broadband companies have indicated that they have no desire to do that. However, with this repeal, it is possible that they could do something like that. Led by Chairman Ajit Pai, the Federal Communications Commission and its 2 other GOP members voted along party lines, and this was a follow-through on a promise to repeal the government's 2015 net neutrality rules. So the net neutrality really hasn't been around for all that long. A judge has ruled that Governor Larry Hogan's health secretary and another official in his administration must be paid, but a spokesman for the Attorney General's office says the case will be appealed. Anne Arundel County Circuit Judge Ron Silkworth ruled Thursday in a lawsuit brought by Dennis Schrader and former acting planning secretary Wendy Peters. The dispute centers around a confirmation battle between the Republican governor and the Democrat-controlled Senate. Hogan withdrew both officials from consideration before the Senate could vote on their combinations. The legislature then passed a budget language blocking pay to anyone requiring confirmation, but whose name was withdrawn. Hogan then reappointed them. Silkworth ruled that the budget language is an illegal special law aimed at 2 people to block Hogan's authority to make recess appointments. TSA officers have now seized as many firearms at BWI Airport this year as they did last year. Officials say a Baltimore man was arrested on Wednesday after an officer caught him trying to bring a loaded semi-automatic handgun through a security checkpoint. The .38 caliber gun was loaded with 6 bullets, including 1 in the chamber. Officials says it was found in an X-ray scan of his carry-on bag. As officers were examining the X-ray image, the traveler took notice and left the checkpoint area. MTA police responded to the scene, confiscated the firearm, and worked with the TSA to identify the man in the surveillance video. He was then arrested on various charges. It's the 24th gun spotted at BWI checkpoints this year. And in case you've been living under a rock for the last 16 years, just don't bring guns to the airport. It's that simple. And moving from TSA to AAA, the organization says U.S. travelers will hit the roads, rails, and skies this Christmas holiday in their largest numbers on record, lured by cheap plane tickets and a growing economy. Roughly 107.3 million Americans will journey 50 miles or more from home during the December 23rd through January 1st period. This is a 3.1% increase from last year and the most ever recorded by AAA. It's also the 6th consecutive record high through this holiday period. Stick around. We've got Kevin Chaney bringing local high school basketball. We have our picks for the weekend, must-do events. And rumor has it there may be some snow this afternoon. And, of course, we've got George Young from DMV Weather to bring you all of your local weather forecasts. Stick around.
This is Maryland. The weather can be nearly unpredictable. We've got George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis to sort it all out.
Hey everyone, this is George from DMV Weather. Here's your Annapolis forecast for Friday, December 15th. For today, we forecasted a target high temp of 36 degrees for downtown Annapolis and 37 degrees for BWI Airport. Another day of 5 to 10 degrees below normal for this date on the calendar. And along with these cold temps today comes the likelihood of some light snow this afternoon. Okay, the setup on the snow. There is a small, fairly weak low-pressure center over North Carolina now that will end up just off the North Carolina coast early this afternoon before heading out to sea, but it will be close enough to produce some snow showers and generally some outright light snow across most, if not all, of Anne Arundel County in the 12 to 8 p.m. time frame, with the bulk of the snow likely falling in the 1 to 5 p.m. time frame. Our specific forecast for this event is for National Weather Service measurements of 0.7 inches of snow in downtown Annapolis and 0.4 inches of snow at BWI Airport. But keep in mind the overall potential is in the 1 to 2 inch range, and based on late morning radar, it looks like upwards of 3 inches in some spots is a strong possibility, especially from Annapolis to Baltimore and sections northeast. But regardless of the exact amount, expect some light snow this afternoon and anticipate potentially slick roads, as the temps are generally cold enough now at the ground level for most of whatever falls later today to stick. Beyond today, conditions improve gradually over the weekend with sunshine and temps in the 40s, and then we'll even see 50 to 60 degrees early next week. So let's get through today while we can and enjoy our third round of light snow already in early December, and then we'll head into the weekend for the second half of Hanukkah and only 10 days left until Christmas. Speaking of which, we have an early eye on something out there that could impact the region with some kind of weather, so stay tuned over the next week for updates. Okay, that's it for us today. Stay warm out there and be safe if the snow falls this afternoon. And be sure to download our free weather app in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store by searching for DCMDVA Weather. And also follow us 24/7, 365 on our website at dmvweather.com or on social media via Twitter or Facebook. This is George Young of DMV Weather with your Annapolis forecast. Make it a great weekend and be safe.
Hey there, this is John Fernay, and the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief is sponsored by, well, it could be you. Podcasting is a growing trend, and since launching on September 1st, we have more than 10,000 downloads of this podcast, plus thousands of listens on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. In addition to our Facebook page, All Annapolis, and our Twitter account, we distribute the Daily News Brief to Apple Podcasts, which used to be called iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and the TuneIn app that can be played on your Amazon Echo or Google Home device. We focus on local news, local weather, local events, and local sports, including high school and college. So our audience is pretty tightly targeted to the greater Annapolis area. And if you own or manage a local business, you're a likely customer. Intrigued? Well, here's something to think about. Your company could be featured on this daily podcast for less than $20 a day. Interested? Shoot me an email and let's talk. My email address is john@eyeonannapolis.net, and that's EYEONANNAPOLIS, but you already knew that, .net. Let's get together and see what we can make happen.
If you're looking for local sports, it's right here, right now on the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief.
Hey guys, Kevin here for your Friday edition of Eye on Sports. We're jumping right into high school varsity basketball. Starting this past Wednesday, Chesapeake Science Point was at Glen Burnie. Glen Burnie won 91-25. On Thursday, Northeast was at North County. North County won 76-55. In varsity girls on Thursday, Northeast was also at North County, and North County won 53-35. In varsity wrestling, there was a meet between Broadneck and Mount Hebron won by a total combined score of 43-23. And finally, the Washington Redskins are hosting the Arizona Cardinals, and the Baltimore Ravens are traveling to Cleveland to face the Browns. That's all I got. I'm Kevin Chaney. This is your Eye on Sports.
Did you know that more than 1,200 mental health patients had to be transferred last year by AAMC to facilities outside our area because these facilities do not exist right here in our own area? Denim and Diamonds is a fabulous, fun evening under the stars to support expanding mental health care in our community. AAMC Foundation proudly thanks RxNT for their generous $50,000 exclusive presenting sponsorship. Get more info at AAMCdenimanddiamonds.org.
Need to make plans for the weekend? We got you covered. Here are our top picks. Be sure to visit eyeonannapolis.net to sign up for the events newsletter with a listing of all the upcoming area events.
It's Friday, so that means we need to give you the list of our picks for all the good things to do. If you're a music lover, this is a must-see. Handel's Messiah by the Annapolis Chorale. Erdon Green does a tremendous job year after year after year, and it's playing in what is arguably the best venue in the city, St. Anne's Church, right there on Church Circle at the top of Main Street. The shows are tonight at 8 p.m., tomorrow at 8 p.m., and Sunday at 3 p.m. Tickets are $45, well worth every penny. Handel's Messiah by Ernie Green and the Annapolis Chorale in an incredible location. Tomorrow you've got the Santa Speedo Run. It's the 10th annual Santa Speedo Run. It gets underway at about 10:30 at O'Brien's. You can bring a toy for a donation to a Toys for Tots. If you want to run, it's $25. You do get a commemorative stocking cap to run. Wear your Christmas Speedo, bathing suit, just sort of holly jolly, colorful stuff to do that. Very unusual event. The actual run will take off at about 12:30. It's about a mile up Main Street, down Main Street, around City Dock, and back to O'Brien's, and you're going to have Weird Science entertaining you for the rest of the afternoon. And for an interesting perspective on the Santa Speedo Run and some other things downtown, check out the Maryland Crabs podcast this week. We spoke with Rock Tays, who is the owner of Back Creek Books on Main Street, and he had a very unique and valid perspective on the Santa Speedo Run and events just like that. If you've ever wondered how the Colonials spent their Christmases, you can find out at the Colonial Christmas Open House at the Rising Sun Inn. This is a 1753 manor home in Crownsville. They're having an open house with crafts, tours, talks, activities for the kids, refreshments, and everything else. It's $7 to get in, $4 for kids, and this is located at 1090 Generals Highway in Crownsville. You probably don't know it's there. You've probably passed it a number of times. Go check it out. A little fascinating piece of Anne Arundel County history. Also on Saturday, Holiday Swing with the Annapolis Symphony Orchestra at Maryland Hall. Brian Stripling brings his jazz to the holiday favorites, 8 p.m. at Maryland Hall. Again, another fun musical event here in Annapolis. Sunday, Homestead Gardens has a free seminar from 2 to 3. If you want to know how to make your house beautiful with fresh greens, not the fake ones that I use, Homestead Gardens has that seminar. It goes from 2 to 3 at their Davidsonville location. And if you haven't been musicaled out just yet, I've got one more to go. The Talent Machine. They're performing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Key Auditorium at St. John's, also a very good venue. I like this one because wide seats, plenty of legroom. People can walk in front of you without a problem. St. John's, you did it really well. The Talent Machine is performing their holiday favorites. This one is called Jingle All the Way, but they're going to have Rudolph and Santa and Frosty and everybody else that's in there. You've seen them at the Grand Illumination for the City of Annapolis at the Christmas tree lighting. They have a show tonight at 7:30, tomorrow at 2 and 7:30, and Sunday, they're busy, at 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and also 6:30. Tickets are only $15. You can pay that at the door. And if you miss it this weekend, they are doing some encore performances a little bit later on, the 20th to the 23rd, so stick around for those. I think that's about enough for the weekend. Have a great one, be safe, and we'll catch you on Monday.
Thanks for listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. If you like what you heard, make sure to tell your friends and colleagues about it. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find much more. Be sure to check out our other weekly podcast, The Maryland Crabs. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at noon. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.